With Wayfinder being just days away, you might be trying to decide who you're going to be playing when the game releases. Well, today I'll be giving the spotlight to Kyros, giving you insight on everything you need to know to make your decision. Kyros, also nicknamed the War Mage. A little bit of backstory on him: there is a place known as the Kingdom of Ashes. Bones are scattered across the beach of black sand, and charred remnants of crystal spires still reach towards the sky. This has been a shunned ruin for thousands of years, but Kyros still remembers it as it once was. A glorious civilization whose achievements dwarf those of the Avar Emporium or the Maze. He remembers studying the nature of reality itself, and even learning how to transcend his own flesh to become a being of pure mystical energy, bound to a skeleton of arkstone and crystal. While he possesses devastating power, Kyros is first and foremost a scientist. He is determined to stop the gloom. He will not watch another civilization be destroyed, but he believes the key to defeating the gloom is to understand it. Kyros is a deadly war mage and a brilliant researcher, but he has been lost in the void for countless centuries, and there is much he has forgotten or never knew. What became of his people? How did his wondrous nation become a kingdom of ashes? Did he have something to do with it? The answer must be out there, waiting to be found. As you can see, he's not very complex, he only has a bar and a half, but while he prefers to avoid close combat, Kyros wields tremendous mystical power. He can scatter foes with blasts of raw energy and crush enemies with a massive shockwave. Pretty cool. As you can see, it's kind of like Nis. He's just straight offense, but unlike her, he's a ranged offense. She's just a melee offense. But being a mage, they're not ever tanky, so don't expect him to be very tanky, but he doesn't really support a control. He's just straight raw damage. Okay, jumping into Kyros' first ability, we have Savage Rake. Rakes the ground with violent energy, dealing damage to all enemies in front of Kyros. Arcane fragments can be consumed to cast Savage Rake at no cost. So as you can see, he kind of shoots out like these energy waves, kind of in like, as you can see, kind of like strands, kind of like it's his claws going up, which is pretty cool. Okay, jumping into his second ability, we have Siphon Radiant. Releases a wave of energy around Kyros that deals damage and absorbs arcane power, reducing cooldowns and granting an arcane fragment. So as you can see, kind of shoots out like a wave, kind of zaps him with, it looks like purple lightning. Obviously gets the fragment, and the fragments are used to use his rake ability at no cost. Okay, jumping over to his third ability, we have Arcane Focus. Marks enemies in an area. As enemies are hit, the mark builds up in power and detonates at max or when it expires. So as you can see from the video, it kind of puts like a seal on the ground, and then once it either maxes out or expires, explodes, blowing everyone up within the radius of it. Okay, and we have Kyros' final ability, Hand of Reckoning. Deals massive damage to enemies in a large radius around Kyros. As the description says, he summons a giant hand. As you can see it hit the ground, it kind of crushes everyone that's in the area of it. And last we have his passive ability, which is Arcane Fragments. Generate arcane fragments by using Siphon Radiant on enemies, and landing combo finishes. Arcane fragments are automatically consumed to grant extra charges of Savage Rake. And so again, everything comes back to you pretty much just spamming your Savage Rake. Alright, and last we have his signature weapon, the Epitaph. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, I do apologize. Again, I'll say this. He's not locked into it. You can give him anything you want. Sword, shield, double daggers, gun. Have fun making him your own. Obviously, he's not going to have the weapon ability if he doesn't have it, but crafted by the infamous Mother of Shadows, Epitaph feeds on the essence of its enemies even as it spills their blood. It whispers to you, urging you to battle. And so the weapon ability is Arcane Harvest, a spinning slash that deals damage in a 360-degree arc and steals ability power from enemies, increasing the player's ability power per enemy hit. So pretty cool, pretty overpowered, does actually seem it. But yeah, that is his signature weapon. Okay, just before we end off this spotlight, I am going to throw Heroic Kyros in here. If you don't know who he is, he's kind of like, think of this game's like a multiverse. This is another version of Kairos, a completely different character. There's not really much of him. If he gets more information, I'll make a video of him for sure. But for now, I'm just going to chuck him in with actual Kyros. All we know so far is his starting mod capacity is increased. Heroic Kyros will be leveled separately from regular Kyros, and he's only available in the biggest Founders Pack. So if you don't get the Founders Pack, you probably won't get him. I think they mentioned that once the Founders Pack go away, he will go away as well. So if you didn't get him, you didn't get him. But I don't there's not much to know of him, so I'm not really sure if he gets a new moveset or if he has the same moveset and he's just like a different character. I feel like because he's a different character, he'll probably have his own moveset, but don't hold me to that, I'm not actually sure. But yeah, just thought I'll chuck this in here, just a little update. I'm not sure if he'll come after the Founders Pack. I think he goes away with it, but I'm sure we'll get more news on him later. But anyway, that being said, that is going to do it for the Kairos Spotlight. I do hope this will help you out decide who you want to play. I definitely know I want to play Kyros when the game releases. He's definitely my favorite character. But if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, know when the videos go live, and I'll be back again next time with the final Spotlight. So until then, take care and peace out.